Calling all Autobots. Calling all Autobots.
Okay, here's a look at Transformers Studio Series, Transformers Age of Extinction, Optimus Prime. And here is a look at the front of the box with the nice CGI artwork of Optimus in robot mode and his alt mode. And the back, you could see the product image and a screenshot here from the movie. And a short, quick bio. You could pause and read what that says. And the side of the box, get his shoulder with the Autobot symbol. The other side, you get a close-up of his head. And the top of the box, Transformers, Age of Extinction, Optimus Prime. The bottom, warning, words and stuff. So that is a look at the box. And here is a look at the figure. And let's go over all of the accessories and everything he comes with. So let's take that off. And first, let's just go over the instructions real quick, because I'm gonna start calling out every little negative thing now, especially like with Hasbro. The transformation, so here you could see in product design, these are called detail drawings. And actually, this is the first time I'm opening it up, so it is nice. You could see the accessories, how you can attach them. Pretty straightforward, no text, but they are numbered. And then here you could see the detailed drawings, the transformation. You have to rely strictly on the visual to help guide you to the transformation, because there's no text and stuff like that. But yeah, I just wanted to point all that out. But that's a look at the instructions. And here are the accessories that you could see I've already attached. So let's take them out. So first you could see his sword, which is nicely sculpted. Unfortunately, it's not painted a nice silver, but that's because this is a retail figure. So, you know, these are kinds of things you should expect. And then he does have his shield, which is also nicely sculpted, but, you know, it doesn't have that nice silver finish, and it's missing a lot of extra paint. And in terms of function, they made it where you untab it and then tab it again to extend it, instead of making it a functional piece that you could pull out. But it's still nice that you have that option where you can open it up to kind of capture scenes from the movie when he did that. And then it does come with the adapter that you can attach to his back and attach that. And he does also come with the sword. Again, also nicely sculpted. There is some paint on here, but yeah, it's at least this is better than this. So you could see the difference between the paint and no paint. But anyways, that's the accessories that you get. And now let's come up and take a closer look. And again, you know, I'm always going to point out the positive and negative. It's nicely sculpted, so a lot of props to the toy sculptors. They did a nice job. And in terms of the paint, you know, you just have to hope that Hasbro is, you know, going to do a good job, you know, applying some paint. They did put some paint, which looks nice, but I don't know if you could see, you know, it's missing that nice silver paint finish, which would definitely make all of this pop out a little much better. But they did put in some extra paint here, like the gold you could see. And this is missing a lot of paint, like these, I think it's supposed to be red and blue, you know, wires coming down. So there is some paint that you could see, that nice silver paint. But then it's missing paint on other areas, such as his shoulder should have some more of those flame details. So, but overall, you know, for a retail figure, I think this is done pretty well. So in terms of the articulation, it is on a ball joint, so it can go up, it can go down, it can rotate side to side, and it can go all around. And the shoulders, they go forward, back, out to the side. His little shoulder pads here are on a double hinge, part of the transformation, so you can move that out of the way if you want as well. You do get nice bicep swivel. You do get a double jointed elbow, so you can get some cool poses with the sword. And then his hand articulation doesn't rotate, but it does fold in. This is a little slot there for the sword to go in, which I'll show you in a little bit. And then let's see, the waist. There is no waist rotation, no ab crunch, so it's a little limited there. But the legs, typical, can go forward, it can go back, can go out to the side. You do get a nice knee joint, and then the feet does have a 90-degree ankle rocker, but no toe tilt up and down. So for, again, a retail figure, this is, standard, and it's actually not bad. Tolerance, feels good, so that's another good thing. And let's just take a quick look at the back, because some people always like to, point out some complaints they have with the back. I know I've seen other people, what they did is they actually, so I'll just show you part of the transformation. You can untab that, and if you want, you can remove the back from that mushroom tab. I don't want to do that. I just want to leave it the way it was designed, like that. So it does have the back, and you can see there's the slot for the adapter for the shield and sword. But yeah, the back cleans up pretty nice. Side overall, for a retail figure, this is not a masterpiece or a collectible. It is a nice looking figure. So in terms of the accessories, so now I'll show you the sword. Simply, well, his hand does have extra articulation there. It can open up. You put his hand there, and then you slide that down so it holds it much better. And then now you have Optimus with this sword. And I'm laughing because this part's actually kind of cool, where you can actually have fun with the accessories, except this is not good, where they're too cheap to use a pin. They just kind of use the friction to hold that in place. But yeah, you can then get some cool poses here with the sword. So yeah, you can have a lot of fun with this, do stop motion or stuff. So this is cool. And then the sword, the shield, you could see that just simply tabs in. And I don't remember, when he has this open, but like I showed you, you can untab that, move it out to the side, tab it in. And now he has like that open shield. I don't know why you would have an open shield, because now you're not protected in the center here. But anyways, you could see this looks really cool. And then the other feature, which comes nicely painted, you could take his sword out. And I don't like the stock image photos where they made it, where you stick it in like this. This looks really dumb, in my opinion. It looks like he's holding a small sword. It looks better when it's capturing more like the scene from the movie where, it comes out from his forearm like this. And this actually now looks much better. So yeah, those are the accessories, and you could definitely have a lot of fun with this figure. Now, in terms of comparison, I have some of my other versions. I never got the official age of the... Well, actually, I did. I remember that. I got that at Target. There was the Age of Extinction Optimus Prime, but then I returned it for some reason. And then there was the San Diego Comic-Con one, which I wanted. But then, someone I know at Toy Arena kind of, shared his thoughts with me and kind of convinced me not to get the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive one. but you know, it's okay because now we have this one. So just letting you know why I don't have the other versions. But you could see what I do have is this one is the Takata, I don't remember all the names, but this one is, you know, another toy, but this one has the gimmick with the sound feature, which doesn't work. And I just want to speak to that real quick. I think in general, I think all companies need to stop with all this electronic stuff. But Takata in general, they never seem to do a very good job, because now this doesn't work. Batteries want to run out real quick, so I can't show that off. But just letting you know, this one did have some electronic features, but Takata, you could see, always takes pride in their figures. So you could see how this has all that extra nice silver paint, and this one doesn't. So there's one difference. But then the feet, the blue is not very screen accurate. So yeah, it's not really perfect. But you could see the height is much better. And when I bring out some comparisons with the other characters from the movie, you'll see, I think this height is actually much better. And I think they should have made it about this height, so it scales with the other figures much better. And then the other one, this was the leader version back in the day. And again, the same thing. The difference is you could see this one's not really, well, this one's more a adult collector toy. So you could see how this has all that nice paint finish. And in here, I was telling you on the thighs, it should have those painted wires and stuff. So yeah, just speaking to the fact that Takata versus Hasbro, Takata takes pride to produce, you know, quality figures to make them look nice. But anyways, that's the difference between, you know, the other versions that I have. And I gotta speak to this real quick. This is the Age of Extinction, but I'm actually going to use this for my Last Night Autobot collection because it's pretty much the same. And in terms of the Studio series, yeah, they didn't really make a lot of other Studio series Age of Extinction. So here I'm just going to point out more things. I mean, when Studio series first started, I think it was number 2, the Stinger from Age of Extinction. And look at how long ago that was. That was number 2. Now we're past 100 where they don't even number the Studio series anymore. And this is how long it's taking them to, you know, give us the rest of the characters from the movie. And then there was, the Grimlock, and then there was the Galvatron, and then the Lockdown. But yeah, don't really have any other Autobots. Oh, there was the Drift, but it was the helicopter one. And so, yeah, all because of that is the reason why this Age of Extinction Optimus Prime is going with my Last Night collection, because I have more of the Studio Series Last Night Autobot figures. So with that, let me bring out some of those, and then we can see what that looks like.
Knights, Autobots, this cannot and will not be the end.
Okay, so first, starting off, here is Bumblebee from The Last Night. And you could see what these two look like together. Kind of like that scene where, you know, Bumblebee and Optimus were fighting. And yeah, the proportions I was telling you is a little off. And this is where I was telling you the Takata one. I don't remember the name of this one, but you could see the proportions here seem a little bit more screen accurate, because I think Optimus was a little bit taller. But yeah, this is what we have now. So just wanted to point that out. But here you could see what these two look like. And then let's bring out the Hound. And this is what we need a new Studio Series figure for the Age of Extinction or the Last Night Hound. And you could see this one, I had to get the upgrade set to make him look a little bit, have more screen accurate feet. But here you could see what he looks like. And proportionately, I think it's okay. And then let's bring out more of the Last Night, not the Age of Extinction, because it could be interchangeable, I think. So here is the Studio Series Drift from the Last Night. And then also, this guy's funny, Crosshairs. Yeah, so you could see what this looks like. So I'm showing you what my collection is. So I'm kind of a completist where, you know, I like to make sure I have, you know, the collection. But with the movie stuff or this one, I'm only getting the Autobots. So I don't have the Galvatron and stuff. And then just from the other, there was Cogman. This actually, I think, is really cool. I mean, look at the nice silver paint finish here. And then Hot Rod. So this is now my collection for the Studio Series, The Last Night. Even though this is for the Age of Extinction. So here you could see what this looks like. But there is one more character from the movie that's missing, and this is Squeaks. So this is the official The Last Night figure. This is not the Studio Series, and I don't know if you know, but the proportion is way off here because Squeaks should actually be really small. But I just thought I'd throw him in there because, you know, he's also from The Last Night. And being a completist, then that means, you know, we're missing those little figures. Cade, and then I forgot the female character from the movie and stuff. But anyways, instead of rambling, here you could see what the collection for The Last Night looks like, even though this is from the Age of Extinction. And I've already pointed out the reason why I don't have this as the Age of Extinction is because Hasbro is not doing a good job of giving us all the characters in a timely manner. Because now we're missing all of the Age of Extinction, Bumblebee, the Drift, the Crosshairs and stuff. But anyways, in terms of this figure, yeah, this is really a nice figure. With all the accessories and stuff and the pose and stuff you can get out of it. So now, and this, oh, instead of using a pin, they just use the friction here, so it's gonna pop off. So now let's go ahead and transform Optimus into his alt mode, and then take a look at that. Okay, to transform Optimus to his alt mode, let's first straighten out his arms and legs. And then let's come up a little bit more so we can get a better view. And come to the side here, you could see the back here tabs in. So you want to untab the side on both, which will allow you now to lift this up on that hinge. And then these doors here, the window, you could see on that hinge, you want to lift them up on both sides. And then this top piece you could fold down. And then now we could bring down the doors on both sides. And then here on the bottom, bring out that grill. And then fold down the top. And now we have the front part done, but now we could flip it around 180 and you could see it's going to flip over to the top. But now we need to open up all of this. And here you want to lift up this chest piece, and actually this back, the gray piece, also actually tabs in. so you could see. So you want to untab that, and then that will now allow you to lift this head up. But you have to be careful where you're doing it, because it is on a hinge here and a hinge here. Make sure you lift it up on that back hinge. And now you could see you get that. And then up here, the waist, you want to fold that down and in. And then now we can open up his arms like so. And then on this bottom here, there is a panel piece that you need to bring out, open up like so. It's gonna form the sides of the cab, and then you do the same on the other side. There's the little panel piece, there's the hinge. Once you get that open, bring it out like so, and then we have this orientated like this. And then now we can fold up his hip skirts here, and then we can untab these two tire pieces. You can see they tab in right there, and then lift this up like so. And then now we can bring down this front cab and make sure this piece comes up. And this piece slides down and in on this hinge, so you want to bring it down. And now this is coming closer to here, so now you just line all of this up, and then you can tab that in like so. And then now we need to clean up these arms. So first, these shoulder pads, you could see they are on a double hinge. So just lift that up. And then the bicep, you want to rotate this around 180. And then on the double joint, you want to fold up these arms. And then you want to turn it. So now you have this rectangle shape, so you have some room. And then we need to bring up the shoulder pad up, and you could see there's a tab here, and there is a slot. Let me try to show you a slot right there. So those need to come together, find the tab and the slot, line it up, tab it in. And then this arm piece also has a tab and a slot that goes in, and you do this same on this side. And then now we can lift this up like so. Make sure it's all straight, and you can see where this is lining up. And then you do the same on this side. So to do that all again, first you want to rotate the bicep around 180, and then we can fold up his arms on that double hinge, and then we want to bring out the arm so it's on that rectangle shape lined up with this rectangle shape. And then this shoulder pad, you want to rotate it up where there's that tab and that slot, line it up, tab it in, and then there is the tab and the slot for the forearm that goes in. And then you could bring this up, and now these two pieces come together. You could see there's the tab and the slot, line it up, tab it in, and then you could see there's a slot here on both sides. So basically that's going to go in on both sides, and now we got that all cleaned up. Now we can work on the bottom part here. So you could see this is already coming out, so you want to bring that out, and then we want to lift this up, and then we can open up the back part of the tire here. And then there's this connector piece for the trailer, half of it. Just bring that out. And then once we got that, then we could rotate the thigh inwards like so. And then this inner part piece, you want to bring it out. And then you want to fold up the feet and the heel and then rotate it around 180. And then now we can do the same on this side. So this side, again, this back piece does open up, comes down like so. And then we could extend this out like so. And then we need to open up these tire pieces, fold that down, and then we can rotate the thigh inwards. And then this inner piece here, bring it out, then fold down his heel, fold up his foot, rotate this around 180. And then his front hip skirt, you could go ahead and lift that up all the way. And now we can rotate this around 180 from the hips. And now you could see where this is going. And then here, bring out the other half of that connecting piece. This part's a little hard just to get things to tab in because you could see it's wobbling. So you could see you're trying to tab this in, but because it wobbles, it tends to come undone. So you want to be careful. So tab that in and then tab this in. And try to be careful not to, accidentally, move this up, move this down, because that's going to untab those. Once we got that, straighten this up. And then these now are going to come down. And you could see they're going to form the back and the top. So to do that, you want to now flip the top part over and then lift it up. Do the same on the other side. Fold this in, lift this up, and then you could tab these two pieces together. And then you could see now we're going to bring this down. It's going to tab in here on the top, also on the front here. So find the tab and the slot, line those up, tab it in, and then yeah, the tolerance here, it's kind of hard working with this kind of plastic. So just get those tabs in, and then you can close the back doors here and try to make sure you get it all nice and flush, because you can see that tab is supposed to go underneath like so. And then do the same on this side. Fold this up and try to get that tab to go in. Make sure you give this a good push. Just be kind of careful, because as you're pushing that, you might start untabbing other areas. Once we got that, then you can fold in this gray piece. You could see it's going to tab in there, and then it's also going to tab in here. So get those lined up, tab it in, do the same on the other side. Get that tabbed in here and here. And then we can lift up these tires, but you could see it's on a double hinge. So you have to use that double hinge to make sure you get this up all the way. Yeah, and you could see how it's parallel to the ground here. And then it tabs in there. And I'm trying to point it out because you can't, I said double hinge, because if you do it like that, you see that's off. It needs to be up. So you need to utilize both the double hinge to get this up the correct position it needs to be. And then you just need to get that tabbed in. And like I said, it easily comes untabbed when it goes down and up. So this is where you need to kind of be careful when you're getting these tabbed in together. And then you can clean all this up with the type of plastic it is. Just make sure all the panel pieces are put together. And then we have Optimus now in his alt mode. Okay, here's a look at Optimus in his alt mode. And first, let's just take a close-up look at all the nicely sculpted and painted detail. And this is where I was telling you it's lacking like paint. Little nitpicky things like I don't like the gray hinges showing here or like the blue hinge here. And all of this gray here should have that nice silver paint finish like on the rims. But again, I'm making it clear this is a retail figure, so you have to look at just the positives and just look at what they did give you. At least they did paint some things, like the grill is painted silver. The top here, I don't know what that's called, some kind of fender is painted. The rims are nicely painted. At least they're all the same, so you know it stays symmetrical. It's nice, and the back does clean up well. There's no trailer, so there's nothing to attach it to, but they did give you a slot, and it does roll nice as rolling things should. So yeah, this it's a nice figure, but in terms of the transformation, first of all, the engineering I think is done really well. It's just you have to be very careful when you're manipulating the parts and trying to move them, because if you remember, you saw the feet, how it kept popping off because they don't use pins, they're just using the friction, and that's throughout this figure. So when you're trying to manipulate it, it might pop off here, pop off there, and then you're trying to pop things back in together. So that's a little frustrating as a consequence of not giving us pins. But in the engineering, the design, I think is done really well. It's definitely better than the others. So in terms of the others, so here, wow, this is already so much bigger. The that Takata version that I was telling you that doesn't have a working light sound. You have to put the batteries in. They need to stay away from the battery stuff. They don't do a very good job with the batteries. And then let's see, we might have to zoom out. And here is the leader class from the Age of Extinction. And just here, just giving you a look at the differences. So both of these are Takata. So you could see with Takata, you're going to get that nice chrome plated finish, which obviously makes this look much nicer. Look at that, all the nice reflections and everything you get here. And you don't get that with the Hasbro Studio Series. That's smaller and costs more now. And even with the other Takata version, at least they painted it silver with some nice transparent windows. But yeah, you could see the differences between these. But, you know, overall, they all look good. And I'm making it very clear. I just want to keep emphasizing this is a retail figure. So when you take that into consideration, I think this is done really well. And now, in terms of the other comparisons, and like I said, I would bring out the Age of Extinction, since this is officially a Studio Series Age of Extinction. But we didn't get Age of Extinction of Drift in his vehicle mode, Age of Extinction Crosshairs in his vehicle mode, Age of Extinction Bumblebee, and we definitely need a new Hound, the Age of Extinction Hound, because you could see the scale, he's a little bit too small. He needs to be, what is this, leader size now? It's actually like Voyager size, but it's a leader size price figure. But yeah, here now you could see this is my collection in alt mode of the Age of Extinction. And now you could see what these guys look like. Let's do a little camera trick here. Let's put Hound closer in the front so he looks a little bit bigger. And let's put Optimus back there. Let's put Drift here so we can get a close-up shot, and Bumblebee is always next to Optimus. And you could see what this looks like. So yeah, this is, I'm actually okay with it. It does look nice. And I just want to, document and appreciate this because I don't intend to transform these guys. Well, I'll transform back to robot mode, but in terms of alt mode, here is the official Age of Extinction line that we currently have. This is the only Studio Series Age of Extinction of Autobot that we have, Optimus Prime. But these are the other ones. And, oh, I didn't mention, this actually comes in that 5-pack. And the 5-pack also comes with the Optimus Prime. So this is going back, doing a little history. I mean, they did give you the other version, the battle damaged one, because this one never appeared this way, but it's kind of cool. Kind of replicates the G1 Optimus, what he would look like if he was the movie form. So that scene where, he was driving out and then he turns into this version of the Optimus Prime. But yeah, just letting you know, these came in that 5-pack. So in case you're wondering where that came from. But anyways, just to save time, just not to ramble on, I'm just going to end my review here. So this is my review for the Studio Series Age of Extinction Optimus Prime.
Whenever you look to the stars, think of one of them as my soul.